Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the seventh edition of India Affiliate Summit, co-presented by IMA and V Commission, powered by Optimize Media, brought to you by Zapet Media in association with Trackier. Without any further ado, let's move on to the next presentation of the day on the topic of scaling Mamaearth's operations using digital marketing techniques. Now, let me introduce you to our speaker, Mr. Abhishek Gupta. He is the Senior Vice President from Mamaearth. I would request all the delegates to keep posting their questions in the chat box and we will address selected few questions at the end of the session. Over to you, Mr. Gupta.
Thank you, Shivani. Thanks a lot, and thanks for the opportunity. Quickly jumping to the presentation. I hope you guys can see my screen. Shivani, can you give a heads up?
Yes, Abhishek, we can see it.
Yeah, yeah. So, guys, I've summarized the quick gist of Mamaearth into 4 questions, which I think that if I asked myself 3 years back, we could have achieved the pace in a much larger scale. But these are the learning for us. So, starting with the first question, am I optimizing the campaign on the correct KPI? So, in a digital marketing world, we have seen that people generally don't understand, okay, which campaign need to be optimized at which extent. So, to go into that detail or to go into that context, we need to first understand what the consumer cycle is, what the buying behavior is. So, generally, what I have seen that ऐसा नहीं होता कि कंज्यूमर को ये आपने ऐड दिखाया इट कन्वर्ट्स इन 1 day or in a day or so. People generally see a brand, especially for a newer brand, new age brand like D2C brands, which have launched around 1.5 years or 2 years back. People generally don't know about them. Suppose let's take an example of you are launching a hair fall product. So people पहले तो आप ब्रांड के बारे में देखते हैं ओके हेयर फॉल अच्छा दिस इज द ब्रांड मामाअर्थ इज अ ब्रांड एंड इट्स परफॉर्मिंग रियली वेल ऑन हेयर फॉल देन दे सी कि अच्छा मुझे भी हेयर फॉल हो रहा है लेट्स मूव then they move to a consideration stage, then they evaluate okay I also have an hair fall, let's look for multiple options, and then they might evaluate in terms of okay Mamaearth acha hai ki bhi nahi, what are the reviews, what are the other things they can do, or maybe अगर ये प्रॉब्लम सोल्यूशन जो इन्होंने बताया है मे बी अनियन और मे बी समथिंग एल्स वो मेरे लिए बेनिफिशियल होगा नहीं होगा कितना बेनिफिशियल है. Then they move to evaluation stage जहाँ we सब चीज evaluate करते हैं, and finally the purchase stage. So generally if our digital marketing is optimizing the campaigns directly on the purchase event कि directly ROAS लाना है या फिर directly मुझे conversions लाने हैं, we generally see कि उसमें थोड़ा गड़बड़ होती है कि you see a lag in terms of ROS या तो scale नहीं कर रहा है या फिर कुछ you're not able to get the results that fruitfully. So what we have seen over here is let's divide the campaign into multiple parts. There are few campaigns that should be optimized on the top of the funnel. Awareness होगा जहाँ पे you can optimize maybe for a video views if you're running a YouTube campaign, maybe a website views if you're a static campaign, and then you can evaluate based on maybe brand lift surveys you can do, and you can do a number of things to evaluate कि आप पे campaign successfully कितने work कर रहे हैं. And the rest stage consideration evaluation you can divide maybe onto add to cart rate, maybe a product view, and on those goals you can optimize. You should optimize those campaigns and then see कि आपकी funnel कैसे work कर रही है. And for each and every part you need to work on those lines. And considering the new age brand जहाँ पे scale बहुत कम है, what we have seen at the initial part की consideration, evaluation and purchase stage पे what generally see कि यार campaign अगर अलग अलग करते हैं तो there is a difference in maybe the optimization rate depending on the what type of scale you are at. So what we have done in the past that we started combining the campaign and segmenting out in the terms of messaging as well as कि धीरे धीरे जैसे scale करते गए we have seen क्या this funnel is working well for us, then we have started segmenting those campaigns into maybe add to cart etc. Initially purchase पे run करे and then we have started shifting to the other stages. So that's the first and foremost thing. You need to decide what sort of campaign type you are running at and what sort of KPIs you're optimizing for. And secondly, and the most important thing is you need to define the maybe the funnel, the part where what sort of communication you are communicating to the customer. So at the awareness stage, what sort of communication you are doing, what sort of product benefits you are providing. Maybe at the purchase stage, the customer has totally bought in, okay, they have done the add to cart, but they are now not purchasing. if a 5% or 10% discount or maybe some free shipping proposition might work, you need to provide it. So you need to work on the targeting part, the KPI part, as well as to the communication part. So this is the first and foremost question which I really hear from a lot of young age digital marketers. This is why I would start with that. Second question, which I which I hear from most advanced marketers is, am I using the right attribution? So just a glimpse of what attribution models are there in the market is, starting on the left extreme is the last click attribution model or last non-direct click, which I feel is the most conservative approach to optimize a campaign, especially for a D2C brand. Moving to the right is a first click or a data-driven attribution model, which is more a growth oriented. तो जनरली क्या होता है, जब आप कैंपेन ऑप्टिमाइज करते हैं या फिर आप कैंपेन पे वर्क करते हैं, तो एक प्रॉब्लम आती है कि यू कांट रियली आइडेंटिफाई इफ यू आर फोकसिंग ऑन लास्ट एट्रीब्यूशन मॉडल, तो यू आर गिविंग ऑल द वेटेजेस टू द लास्ट पॉइंट, मे बी वो ब्रांड क्लिक भी हो सकता है या फिर वो गूगल का लास्ट सर्च हुआ होगा. You are not giving the weightage to the attribution where maybe customer have learned about from the brand, maybe from a YouTube ad, maybe from a Facebook ad, maybe someone else, but उसने click नहीं करा, maybe वो consideration stage में था. So you are not able to consider on those funnels. So when you are working, when you are combining the campaign, especially on the consideration, evaluation, and finally purchase stage, you must need to evaluate the different attribution models. So the classical example जो generally आता है लोगों के पास, जो when you run SEM ads, search ads, तो जो आपके brand ads होते हैं as compared to the non-brand ad, non-brand keywords and a brand keyword ads, you generally see a difference in the attribution. In non-brand keywords, where people are exploring the brand, they are more or a problem oriented. Ki hair fall keyword search rather than a Mamaearth hair fall solution, you will see that there is a high difference between a first attribution to a last attribution. And if I use a last click attribution, I will not spend my money onto those campaigns, आपके जो SEM campaigns है जहाँ पे आपका first click attribution आ रहा है. And what we will end up doing is we will end up reducing our budget onto the places where you will get the highest conversion from the first click. तो आपकी top of the funnel कभी build ही नहीं होगी. So this is the second mistake which the general marketer generally do. So how we should run or how we should optimize? We should look both the funnels. We should assign which campaign should run and what type of attribution, and then compare. Ideally, one should compare between first click and last click. If you are more data oriented and the company has the capability, then one must shift to a data driven approach. You must hit and trial on the various attribution models, run some regression analysis, then identify, okay, this is the attribution model which is working best for me. This is how the second approach generally works for. Third question, which I generally see from a lot of people into the market, is how should I sync my marketing goals to the business goals? So अब problem क्या आती है for especially for a D2C brand, e-commerce brand runs in a way that कि वहाँ पे they are optimizing more on the ROS, more on the कि revenue आना चाहिए. But for a D2C brand, the approach is much different. It is more that the customer should be acquired and we need to extract the lifetime values from these customers. But problem क्या आती है, maybe from one channel you are not getting that good quality of revenue, right? Maybe order cancellation might be high from X channel, returns might be high from X channels. We know that prepaid logistic cost is much less than the COD cost. So rather than considering only the ROAS or maybe these few parameters to optimize the campaign, a marketing team or top of the funnel, which I see marketing team is the top of the funnel, they should more look at a campaign in a more holistic way. If a campaign is providing me a high prepaid ratio, I can spend even a higher bit of money on that. If a campaign is giving me low cancellation, I should give more money on that. The classic example which we have seen, our affiliate partners generally give very low cancellation, very low RTO. I can give extra margins to those people since I know that my logistic cost is optimized on these fronts. Lastly, one classic example is LTV. I've seen that in my past companies as well as in the Mamaearth as well, iOS performs really well. CAC of iOS consumers is a bit high, but the retention rate, but as well as the final conversion rates are also really high. So if you see in a 6 months horizon, you will see that your LTV to CAC ratios or money spent on these customer or final value gain in 6 months is really, really good. So using these approach, you can help your maybe the finance team or the business guild who is heading the business in optimizing your campaigns or marketing goals accordingly, and you will eventually see that these goals are will help you align, or maybe a marketing team can forefront the whole business objectives. So that's the one of the key, and which we have seen in the Mama that our whole performance marketing team is leading the business in an upfront way and optimizing all these metrics, whether it's the operation, whether it's the product metrics and everything. That's the key thing a digital marketer or a growth marketer should aim for. Lastly, on the similar lines, I really get a good amount of questions that should I increase the discount to boost sales? उससे होगा नहीं होगा, कितना डिस्काउंट इंक्रीज करूं, इनिशियली कितना इंक्रीज करते हैं. एंड दिस इज द क्लासिक डिस्काउंट लेडर कि डे वन पे 10% देते हैं, फिर 15%, डिपेंडिंग ऑन बिजनेस टू बिजनेस एज वेल, क्या आपकी ग्रॉस मार्जिन एक्सेट्रा. बट ये क्लासिकल डिस्काउंट है. तो वन थिंग, एंड दिस इज रिलेटेड टू कि आप बिजनेस को कैसे हेल्प कर सकते हैं एंड हाउ यू कैन प्लान the whole running the whole business in a more effective way, because if at the end you need to make some profit out of your business. So कैसे आएगा? डिस्काउंट दोगे तो शायद वो नहीं आ पाए, मे बी आ जाए. तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन यू नीड टू आस्क कि आर कस्टमर्स ओनली लुकिंग फॉर परसेंटेज डिस्काउंट्स, कि परसेंटेज में ही डिस्काउंट दें, या फिर मे बी दे आर लुकिंग फॉर more value add in terms of maybe something else, some other offers, or maybe something else, right? And this is the stage where purchase is happening, the last part of the funnel which we are talking about. तो पहला तो है कि हम पहले कंपेयर करते हैं कि फर्स्ट अप्रोच शुड बी दैट कि विच ऑफर इज बेटर, डिस्काउंट बेटर है, कोई फ्री प्रोडक्ट दे सकते हैं, कोई कैशबैक दे सकते हो आप, मे बी सम अदर ऑफर. Run on these tests on the campaigns, see what your CACs are, what your conversion rates are, what your return rates are, and everything, and analyze the whole PNL starting from top of the pyramid to the bottom of the pyramid. See what's your final conversion rates, and maybe if you can analyze a retention rate or LTV from this customer. Maybe sometime happens the discount led customers have a low LTV. Analyze each and everything, and then optimize on those lines. Okay, these customers are working on a higher scale, or maybe providing a better LTV to you. Maybe आपके लिए free product better work कर रहा है, but PNL पे आपको वो बहुत profitable भी है. Maybe cashback आपके लिए better work कर रहा है because you are not investing anything on the to get that customer repeat in the second purchase. So those permutation combination you need to play, and to make sure that you are optimizing for the right offer, and accordingly you should make a discount ladder, or maybe offer ladder. I will call it an offer ladder, not a discount ladder. And accordingly, for the bottom of the pyramid, the purchase funnel, you need to optimize on those lines. So final conclusion is optimize on the perceived value of the discounts rather than the absolute discount. कस्टमर को परसीव होना चाहिए कि डिस्काउंट है, आपके परसेंटेज में शायद इंक्रीज हो रहा है, कस्टमर को लग रहा है, मे बी कस्टमर को 15 और 20% में ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है, मे बी साथ में आपने एक फ्री प्रोडक्ट दे दिया तो वो बेटर वर्क कर रहा है, राइट? सो ऑन दोज थिंग्स वी नीड टू ऑप्टिमाइज द होल फनल्स एंड सी हाउ द थिंग शुड वर्क. So guys, these are the 4 questions. I think at Mamaearth we have gone in much details, explored each and everything. Okay, these are the things should be worked, these things should be built, and accordingly we have built the playbook on each and every vertical. And these are the 4 main playbooks at Mamaearth which we have built. I think open for questions. Right, I can see a couple of questions. So first question is from Daniel. Did Mamaearth ever worked with affiliates? What is your experience? We have learned affiliate are mainly fraudulent inventory sources. Frankly speaking, since it's affiliate panel, but I will be speaking very frankly that yes, there are fraudulent activities done by these affiliate partners. Agree, but you need to make sure that you are working with the quality affiliate. So we work with only 5 affiliates in the market, and when we start working with a particular affiliate, we have set some terms and conditions, what they can do, what they can't do, and if they do something fraudulent or something, what repercussions will be there. So I'm not saying that you should not work with affiliate. You need to define. So each channel has its pros and cons. Affiliate channel has its pros in terms of the scale which you can get, the type of reach you can get. The con is there's a fraudulent activity as well. So you need to define those activity accordingly. So for us, we have defined particular activities. We have bought some tool as well to make sure that we are catching those activities rather than doing the manual work, right? So that's how we can prevent the fraud from the affiliates. But affiliate is a good channel, I think, and depends on the customer life cycle as well, the way to stay the company is there. What's your point of view, as a question by Sarthak? What's your point of view in respect to the repeat users? What's the generic CAC Mamaearth incurs? Do you focus more on the new users or the promote? So I can't take the CAC questions. It's a internal company data. But I will take the first question. What's point of view respect to repeat users? So my take is CAC for a D2C brand is generally high. For e-commerce industry, there are multiple. If they acquire a customer, especially for Nike, Amazon, they can sell multiple products to the consumers. But for a brand like Mamaearth, where only have one brand, people generally consume the personal care products in a face wash is the life cycle is around if they are using regularly around 1 month or a 2 month or a 3 month, depending on the size of the face wash. But maybe for an Amazon, it will be a much greater extent. So Amazon can do a much cross category in a much wider extent, but we can't do, right. So that's why Amazon can acquire high, and they will have the high repeats since the cross category transactions. But for a D2C brand, cross category transaction is very limited. You might have a hair category or maybe a face category, but you will not maybe having a electronics category into your system, into your website. So you need to make sure that you are acquiring in a right quantity and making sure that you are acquiring the quality customer so that your repeat rate are high and you get the maximum amount of revenue from those customer in a longer run, maybe 6 months, 12 runs, depending on the what sort of business you are at. Okay. So you need to make sure that the repeat rate is really high. How are you using influence for the bottom of the funnels? Frankly speaking, I don't agree that, or maybe I have a mixed view that influencers are not really for the bottom of the funnel. They are for the awareness mediums, and because um, these influencer networks reach out to a large number of audience and they build the top of the funnel. This is the awareness medium for us. So it is not really for the bottom of the funnel. We are using for the top of the funnel. What percentage affiliates contributes to your business? I really can't answer that, but it's a significant portion, and we have a dedicated team working on to the affiliate network, right? Could you shed some light on Mama's Facebook optimization, scaling, and tactics? Yes, I can do. So one thing, so couple of things which we are using. So I think Facebook has launched CBO campaigns as well as AAA campaigns recently for the apps as well. So initially when we launched, we used to do a very narrow targeting, interest-based lookalikes, overlap with lookalikes and interest, etc. But as you grow, you realize that when you do a narrow targeting, the CPMs will generally shoot up. So to make sure that your CPMs are under control, you need to focus on the much broader audiences, and depending on the audience size and etc., you need to scale things up. So you need to make sure that according to the size of business, your CPMs are under control, and work on the communication part. So all the digital marketing channels, including Google and Facebook, they are more turning towards a communication plate, more optimized on communication. So you targeting, they can optimize for you. You just need to tell them the goal, maybe a target ROS, etc. The rest of the thing you need to work in terms of communication, etc. You need to define for that audience. So the role of digital marketer is mainly on defining that communication for that audience. That's the key part, and that's how our whole team is structured in Mama.
Thank you, Abhishek. We'll have to wrap up. We have already exceeded our time limit. So thank
Sure.
you so much for your time. And sorry, audience, we'll have to wrap it up. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our partner, our title partner, We Commission, are powered by partner Optimized Media, brought to you by partner Zapad's Media, and in association with partner Tracker, registration partner Value Leaf, digital growth partner Microsoft InMobi, gold partners Admitted and Velco Media, silver partner Bitroid.io, mobile performance partner CollectSend, bronze partner Cashkaro, and platform partner Airmeet. Please stay tuned for other exciting presentations, and please don't forget to visit our expo booths. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shivani. Just last thing, I think there are a couple of more questions as well. If you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, you can send me a request with the questions. I would happy to answer you guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. It's love talking to you guys and answering the questions. Thank you, and thank you, Shivani.
Thank you, Abhishek.